me say good morning. Those of you listening, Classic Radio 105.5, 105.9. Those of you viewing us via GBN TV, good morning to you. The world via social media platforms, good morning to you. Welcome. It's to the point for today, Friday, the 10th day of January 2025. 10 days within the year already, folks. Let me say good morning to my guest, Mr. Jervis. Dabreo, good morning.
Morning, sir.
How are you doing this morning?
A day.
Yeah.
Start of a new year, but it's busy.
Well, I should say Happy New Year to you.
Thank you very much, sir.
You don't do the resolutions thing?
I stopped that a couple of years ago when I realized I was making a fool of myself.
Yeah.
Because by March I realized some of these things, new things pop up, it's not working out.
I have never really put the energy into it. Maybe it was at a younger age, you're doing that and stuff. Then the last 15
there are
years,
one or two goals I may set based on what I have what I'm working on, but generally, some of these things, nah, man.
You can never live
when you get to my age with this kind of grace, you try to live in the moment.
You're watching my grade. Somebody was asking me today, how old are you? I said, well, I'm a young guy. I just have gray hair. And I'm bald head. That's it.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, whenever you have this coming on the program, is always for good conversations.
Yeah.
And in this day and age, of course, being the nature of your job, it's important for you to come and talk about what we're going to be speaking about this morning. It's a lot going on in the world today, especially with cybersecurity. Folks who may not be paying attention to it or know about it but don't pay attention to it. So it's all about cybersecurity and the security aspects of it that is reigning these days. My first question to get the ball rolling this morning: how important it is for regular individuals just being on your phone, especially with the option now of being able to go online, at your own request. You understand? How is it important for individuals to pay attention and be more assertive when it comes to cybersecurity?
Well, we are living in a very connected world right now.
Yeah.
And whether you are online or you're not, elements of your life is online. So you think about it, the financial institutions, because of the whole concept of minimizing costs, convenience, they're online.
Yeah.
So you may not be a person who is active online, but your resources, your financial resources in that institution is online. It makes sense then for you to be able to at least monitor what is going on. Communication now is a lot cheaper than it was when, for the cost of a pound of tomatoes, you can call the UK. You remember that?
I remember that.
Now with WhatsApp and a lot of these services, you're able to get through without all these charges and so forth. So even if you are not someone who is there very often, it makes sense to have an idea as to what is going on. Travel now. I remember the first time I traveled, I had that little booklet, and you had to tear out a page and so forth. The ticket now.
The ticket
no, you don't
give you back and you make sure you secure it.
No, there is nothing. It's something is sent to you via email. Or within an app, you're able to access and say, hey, yes, I do have a seat on this flight.
Yeah.
But this
or
is
you
what
could
is
just
happening.
go to the customer desk at the airport and you don't even have to have anything physically to show maybe your passport for the most. Do you understand?
And then when you look at being competitive, when you look at economic growth, and a lot of these things, if we do not get in line with some of these new technologies, we're going to have a problem. We're going to get left behind. The people who are coming in, for example, we're in the tourist season right now, right? Someone wants a few of the little packets of nutmeg or spices, and we tell them, hey, you have to pay with cash. But we understand that, come on, man, walking around with large wads of cash is not the safest of things, So we have to maybe consider the machines, point of sale machines and so forth. So I think it is very important for people to pay attention, because we're all connected in some way or the other. And if we're able to at least know what is going on, see what is going on, we can better protect ourselves.
No, we said all of that to say, Are Grenadians, per se, taking cybersecurity serious? From your little moving around and talking to individual information you receive from them, are we as Grenadians taking cybersecurity serious?
Some people have been paying attention, so they have been listening and they have been doing. But I think for many, this is still something that is kind of abstract. You know, we think cyber is supposed to be handled by tech persons, and these companies, they should keep our stuff safe, and we do not have a responsibility in it. But there is a gap. There are still a lot of people here, many persons on this little island within our state that, I think either the message hasn't gotten to them or they are more interested in other things until they get pinched. And then they realize, hey, maybe I should have been paying attention. From the National CSUD, we have done quite a bit. In the schools, where I've been here a few times already, I've met quite a few persons who say, hey, Dabreo, some of these things, but you saved me this, that, and the other. I know with the government's push for training of the cybersecurity persons, this is definitely going to help. We need more soldiers in this fight because the attacks, they are more frequent now. The dragnet, it is a bigger one. It's not like before where they were targeting just, a few people. Everybody have a ATM card now that allows you to shop online. So you're a target, right? So we have to pay attention. But I don't think we're seeing it as a bigger deal as we should. And let me give you an example. Last Friday, I visited a financial institution. And I'm sitting there waiting to be attended to. And I noticed the gentleman, his cubicle, the back of his computer is exposed to me. Right? He got up, he left. And I'm thinking, well, somebody should, at least within the organization, within the IT department, know that this is a no-no. Why am I able to just lean over a little and maybe rest my hand there and slip in a flash drive that may have malicious content on it? And based on how the system is configured, crazy things can happen.
You see these things happen. Folks may hear you talking and say, hey, we only see these things happening in a movie.
No, man.
Someone may say, hey, this is movie talking. But this is reality on a day-to-day basis. There are individuals who will just go to institutions and look for those opportunities when it presents itself. You understand?
And then especially with the movement of people now, we have a lot of people who, they go abroad, they come back. We have visitors on our shows as well. And not that, I don't want to say people we have a lot of bad people moving around, but we have to be realistic.
People have bad intentions.
Yeah, there are people with bad intentions, and they will see an opportunity to manipulate a system to make a quick buck, and they'll use it.
Right. Now, I want us to get into some of the trends that are happening lately that you think that the regular citizens here in Grenada should be putting a lot of attention to. Let's start off with one that was circulating just yesterday. And of course, I saw you put out something online in relation to that via social media. How can individuals... If I could come back with this, I was listening to the news up to yesterday or last night via social media. We see what Meta is doing now, where they're removing fact check and all of these things. So no longer you have to worry what anybody say, whether it's true or not. So it comes back to the same with offers online that may not be. Sometimes it's too good to be true.
Yeah.
How can individuals protect themselves from that nature? But I want you to talk a little bit about the trending. What is trending now that Grenadians should put some attention to or not put attention to?
So we'll deal with the whole Meta and what is happening there, because I think it leads into the trends that are happening now. GT, you have two hands, and on one hand you stretch it to the bad guys and they pay you, and on the other hand you stretch it to the good guys and they pay you. And this is what we're seeing with a lot of the big tech companies. whether it's Meta, whether it's Google, these companies are taking money from whoever is willing to pay to put their content in front offices.
Yes.
Right? Now, if I am taking money left and right, do you really want me fact checking? Come on, man.
No.
Because some of the content that I'm being paid to push on this hand is not right. It's not accurate. Right? So I'm not gonna do that. And this is where I think even within our school system now, digital literacy becomes extremely important. We have to teach our young ones, and even us, we have to remember that before we engage with anything, check the veracity of it, how accurate, how truthful it is. And it's not that complicated. Who is behind it? You know, yesterday this message was circulating about the perfume shark.
Yeah.
It didn't say when I come out, right?
There was no legitimate name within it, but everybody was.
If I put out something, I would attach my name to it. Now, understand, with artificial intelligence, people can clone your voice and so forth. So who is behind it? What are the authorities saying? Did anyone think to call the RGPF and ask? Well, the RGPF were here yesterday. ASP, I saw him. He was with you yesterday. Call the RGPF to. Well, if something like this happened, there should have been a report, right?
Yes.
Because a young lady getting assaulted, losing all her stuff. I mean, you're looking at maybe rape, or you're looking at
there
theft.
are different things that can happen.
Precisely.
So
did they get a report? Well, there was no report. We have one cinema here that is operating. Have you visited the washrooms? What's the size of it? What was described in there? Can that actually happen in that small space, right? And then a simple search and you'd realize that this is a hoax from around 2000. A 24-year-old hoax came back yesterday and created a bit of panic. Now, you would say, well, what is the harm in that? No money is being made, nobody is being defrauded. Yes, but people's mental health was affected. People were made anxious, right? Some people actually a bit fearful. Yes, there are lessons from there. I don't think we should be moving around and anybody push something in your face and say, sniff that. We should be sniffing it, right?
So true.
We should be alert of our surroundings as well. So when it comes to anything that is being offered, we have to do our simple checks. And it may start with just asking who is behind this. All right, and that leads into what is happening right now. So in the region, so this is not just a Grenada problem. The National CSAT here, we're making a lot of noise about it. But this Creators Alliance, this entity that is very popular right now, you put a little bit of money in and you watch a few short videos and you get paid for watching the few short videos. In some cases, GT, you get paid in excess of $5 US to watch a short video. Do you know how much YouTube pays creators with lots and lots of followers? So you're talking the million followers and what, the 100,000 followers. Do you know how much Google pays these individuals? Less than 10 cents.
And you've been offered
less than 10 cents.
And you've been offered.
And you're being offered $3 and $5 and $6 and $7 US. So 10 cents US is what the company pays. And then you say you have partnered with YouTube. Where the money coming out?
For curiosity's sake, for being curious, I saw that been thrown at me once, and I said, let me just go through the process. I mean, I'm not silly about it for myself, but I said, let me go through the process. But then I've been charged in order to able to receive money. How could you be charged to receive money?
Well, you see,
when I'm saying that, no, there was a signed subscription fee and all of that. After you tell me just watch 3 videos and I'll get money, but then I have to pay a fee to be part of the membership.
The other thing too, when it comes to that, is how do you recuperate your money?
Yeah.
In order for so let's assume you put in, and I'm not going to use invest because I think we need. I mean, the thing is set up for so you put in the money. money, 250 US.
Yeah.
And you will only be able to recuperate the majority of that after about a month, right? That is 1 month of your money being out there. The Superior Deals Grenada scam used a similar thing. That was where you get in a case of chicken for $20 and a case of Guinness for $30, when the person behind it was paying the normal money, whether from the breweries or the other thing. But the thing is, they had a few weeks, a few days. I think it was about 6 to 11 days, about 2 weeks to deliver.
Yes.
So new money came in to prop up the money that was spent, the short, and things were delivered. What that does is it entices more people to get in,
especially
because
one individual happened to have received.
Right, and that is what is happening right now in Grenada. This is what happened in Barbados. So it's happening in Grenada. It happened in Barbados.
Yeah.
Right? So you see the little money and a man will tell you, but yes, I get it. Look, what you don't realize is these are enticements to get you to go to the next level. And the next level. And then the rug is pulled off when you now have what? 750 US, 1,000 US, 3,000 US, 4,000 US. So yes, you may have gotten 100 US back, but how much have you lost? And this is what has happened in Barbados, where the same entity, Creators Alliance, have pulled the plug there. And you have people now who have money in there and they can't get it back. You know, I spoke with a gentleman yesterday on it, and he knows a thing or two there. And his thing is, you know, he's thinking maybe he should consider legal action. And I'm like, bro, you should have seen the red flags, right? What is being traded? Nothing is being traded. What is being sold? Nothing is being sold. The source of the money we know from just asking, you know,
can be real.
It's not real. There is no relationship between this Creators Alliance and TikTok or YouTube or any of them. Where are they headquartered? Now, from analysis within the cybersecurity space, we know that this one is not the black guys. This is not Nigerian. This is Asian, right? Show me where CreatorsAlliance.com is. Well, that doesn't exist. But to date, we have identified 5 different sites, and interestingly, the one that is now being used in St. Vincent is different from the one that is being used in Grenada. Yeah. Right? Of course, that information has been passed on to CARICOM Impact, so we expect something coming from them, if not by the end of the day. Definitely over the weekend, they'll be putting out something. Again, this is advising people to not get involved. Yeah. We're not going to strong arm anybody and say don't put your money in, but I'll tell you this, GT, and I posted this yesterday evening on social media. I am willing to challenge anyone. When it comes to this one, let we bet.
Yeah.
Right? I'm betting you $150 against $1. So if Creators Alliance does not prove itself to be a scam, you get $150 from me. When you lose, you would give me $1, and you will record a video publicly acknowledging that Dabreo was right, the National CSOT was right. I mean, what do you have to lose? Because if it is legit, you get $150 just so. Yeah. I mean, when you lose, this is just $1. I don't really want the $1.
I understand you know the challenge video, because you already know the results.
No, we are so convinced that we are correct on this. The National CSOT, we have been correct on IM Academy. We have been correct on iMarket Live. We have been correct on ACN. We were correct on Superior Deals GND. We were correct on Carla Beauty Hair Salon and the wig. GT, do you know that I was threatened with lawyer with the wig thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And when it came to Superior Deals Grenada, I was accused accused by some of the small business owners of not liking to see the small man grow until they lost the money, and then of course it's a whole different thing and what. So that's why I'm saying I can throw this out, and I'll add one more thing to it. If Creators Alliance does not prove itself to be a scam in short order, I will resign from the National CSOT, because I don't think I would be worthy to hold that position if I can't get something like this right. So who want to take me up on it?
I hope someone will take you up on it and see how it goes. We due for a break. Let's take that break. When we come back, we still have lots more to talk about status. We also will invite, of course, our listeners and viewers. If you want to join in the conversation, feel free to do so after the break. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
For 30 years, we've been driven by a commitment to our customers and to continuously improving our standards of quality.
Through every success and challenge, your support remains unwavering.
That loyalty has inspired us to listen, learn, and return with a renewed commitment.
We've taken important steps to ensure that your health and safety remain top priority.
And each bottle is a reflection of our promise to deliver the highest standards of quality.
As we move forward, we want to thank you for always standing by us.
We are honored and extremely grateful to be back. Thanks to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And cheers to 30 more years.
The St. John's Christian Secondary School 60th anniversary, January 12th to the 19th, 2025, celebrating 60 years of excellence through God's grace and guidance. Calling all alumni, come out and celebrate with us. Here's the calendar of events. On Sunday, January 12th, church service at the school auditorium from 9:30 a.m. Wednesday, January 15th, meet and greet at Belmont Estate 3:30 p.m. Thursday, January 16th, health fair at the school from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. Friday 17th January, chapel day, open forum at 10 a.m., open house at 11 a.m. Sunday, January 19th, gala at the Trade Center from 7 p.m.
Welcome back to our listeners. Welcome back to our viewers this morning. Of course, in an interesting program. We're talking cybersecurity in general this morning. We have lots of information to throw to you. That would certainly benefit you as a listener, as a viewer this morning. You may go online and you see those too good to believe offers. And sometimes you think, hey, is it really legitimate enough? And of course, Mr. Dabreo here, who's here, of course, will share all the information that you could just, that basic time you would take to make that search could make a whole lot of difference in you losing your hard-earned money, you understand, and so forth. I want us to spend a little time and speak about the Ponzi schemes.
Yeah.
Folks there are different types.
Yeah.
Some are in the makeup of it, you could tell it's legitimate. So Paul may just hear Ponzi scheme, so you think, well, it's something that's illegal that is going on, or you've been tricked in some way or there. But there are some that are legitimate. But there are ways for you to decipher the legitimacy of one and one that is not legitimate.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that.
So some of the terms that get thrown around, you have Ponzi scheme. Well, of course, when you hear Ponzi scheme, you know this one is fraudulent because of whose name is attached to it. The whole concept behind it. You sometimes hear pyramid schemes. You hear MLM, multi-level marketing. What I want us to understand is this: just because there is this structure of a pyramid doesn't mean something is fraudulent.
Yeah.
So, for example, in our parliament or within our government, there is there is a pyramid.
Yes.
Right? At the very top, we have our head of state. We have the Governor General. Then we have the Prime Minister. Under the Prime Minister, that's another level, you have the ministers, right? Under the ministers, so you see how it's broadening as we go down. You have the permanent secretaries and the SAOs and so forth. But that doesn't mean it's a fraudulent entity. Right? Just because there is recruitment and so involved, again, doesn't mean it is fraudulent. Amway and Avon and some of these entities that have existed for a very long time, they have this sort of recruitment thing. The challenge here is when it comes to multi-level marketing entities, and this is where you have the different levels and people coming on the people, and so the people at the bottom are always going to suffer. So, for example, with the Amway and the Avon, you buy something for $5 from your upstream, whoever you came in under, and you would need to make your profit. I buy it from you, and I pay $6, and the person under me now have to pay $7. And by the time you get, maybe 2-3 levels down, something that is worth $5 now has to be sold for $15, and that person at the bottom, they stuck trying to move a product that is overpriced, and that is where you start losing money.
Yeah.
But you also have these setups where there is no commodity being traded. There is nothing being sold. So the question is, where is the money coming from? And I go back to Creators Alliance. Where is the money coming from? They claim that it is because they have these affiliations with the YouTube and so forth. But my thing is, a simple online search would tell you that YouTube does not pay that kind of money to anybody for watching a short video. So who is paying? And think about it. You put in $150, and at the end of the month, with all the clicks you're able to click, you're not getting back the full $150. It's going to fall short. Brother, you're being paid with your money. Right? Now, yes, people are saying, but the next month, what have you? Well, the thing is, this is about recruitment in its initial stage. We need people to enter, pay $150.
Yeah.
Get enticed, and you see the little money, so what do? You put more, and you put more. This is what happened, and I keep referring to the local scam that happened here, because a lot of people lost a lot, especially small shop owners, where they bought 2 cases of drinks, and the drinks were delivered. So they bought 4 cases. And you have one instance where a shop owner lost almost $1,500. Yeah. It was supposed to stock the entire, it was never delivered. And that is what you have happening. With the Ponzi schemes and so, as I said, there's nothing in there. Old money, new money is paying the people who were there before.
Yes.
Now, it is to my benefit, GT, to recruit. Because if I come in at level 10, so I'm down the food chain, I need people under me. And I'm not stupid. I'm going to recruit you. I'm going to recruit Kenroy Batiste. I'm going to recruit Innocent. I'm going to recruit people who can recruit people.
Yeah.
Because the more people we get under, the more I have under me. Well, listen, the more money I eventually will get.
Yes.
Remember, nothing is being sold. Nothing is being traded. The clicks for the views is just a sham, because we know none of the entities they claim they have affiliations with pay that kind of money to click and watch a short video. All right, and that is where the whole logics behind it comes in. Now, some of these things may not be as simple to identify, because yes, there is a pyramid there, but not all pyramids are illegal.
Yeah,
not all of them are fraudulent. Commodities are being traded, so you now need to ask, what is the reasonableness of this? Right? Is it reasonable to be making that much amount, the returns on whatever I am asked to do? And this is where most people would kind of silence that. They silence the gut feeling, because everybody wants to get rich quick. And all of a sudden, we believe, and I've seen that since 2023, we are of the opinion now in certain circles that there are a lot of people out there interested in making us millionaires. There were lots of people interested in using IM Academy to make Grenadians millionaires.
Yes.
A lot of people have lost money. There are lots of people who are interested in Wiseline. A lot of people lost money, and these are entities that Interpol and other international organizations, including the FBI in certain instances, have come out and say, hey, this is fraudulent. The issue is it's normally after the fact, right? Because, unless you have somebody who is actively monitoring or people are reporting, nobody right now is going to the FIU and saying, I put money in to Creators Alliance and I can't get it back, because it's at the stage now where we are recruiting, we are paying, we are enticing, and we're going to dupe the unsuspecting or the greedy into losing money eventually. You think about SGL Holdings, a similar thing happened. People made tens of thousands of dollars. People lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. It is all about when you enter and when the rug is going to be pulled, and that is what you don't know. I saw somebody under a post I had in relation to that saying, oh well, what of the NLA and so forth. This is a different conversation. So don't bring the NLA in on that. You understand? You're looking at an entity that set up a thing to defraud people from the get-go. Yeah. This is very different.
It's their main intention.
That's just it.
Yeah.
But what does your gut feeling tell you? And let me tell you this, Innocent. I saw this in I said GT. Innocent GT. I saw this in 2000 with the Blessing Loom. The Blessing Loom was the one where the susu, you pay once, you get a big piece of money and you never have to pay again. Right? So you pay 700 US, let's say, you get a 15,000 US and you never have to pay again. I mean, that is just common sense. That is madness.
Yeah.
Right? But this was pushed by, in that case, influential people within religious circles. And a lot of people lost money. And their thing was, we leave it up to God. I'm saying, hey, people, Grenadians, when Creators Alliance goes belly up and you see you lose your money, maybe you should consider getting a lawyer for whoever went all out to recruit you in this. I mean, you do have some responsibility for not heeding the warning and the advisory that we've put out, but hey, maybe we need to change the laws and have people feel the pinch for enticing people into these schemes, knowing exactly what is going on. Because from what I've seen, what we've seen when it comes to some of these, the initial recruiters, they know what is going on. Yeah. They don't care. Ethics and morality are put aside for a quick buck.
How can individuals protect themselves from this? I mean, this is important.
It's your money. There is no free meal. By the sweat of your brow, you will eat. Mr. Richard Duncan says this all the time. There are no investments without risk. And I haven't seen anyone identifying any risk when it comes to this. When it comes to Ride BNB, RIDBNB, another one that is circulating within our shows, no risk. 100% guarantee. This is some charitable give back, what have you. Come on, man. All right. So how can you protect yourself? As I said, fact check it. Fact check it. Who is behind? Or ask. You go to these Zoom meetings, what have you, they hype you up, they give away whatever. Ask who is behind. I was invited to one of their meetings with IM Academy at the GBSS.
Yes.
I went there, and in not so many words, I was told, Jervis, you need to leave. You need to leave. You just ask 2 questions and you become. I was told I am not like-minded and I am confused about money. Scam, confused, still confused about money. S, still, C, confused, A, about M, money. And when I was told that, I was like, thank you very much for confirming what I suspected. You just told me you're running a scam, and you tell me I'm still confused about money.
Interesting to know. Let's don't forget, folks, the option for you if you have a question or two to calling, and of course we will entertain your calls. We took for a break. Let's take it again, and when we come back, we still continue the conversation. The next conversation, folks, that's where you are invited to share your concerns in relation to this. If probably you went through a particular issue of that nature, and maybe it's not a conversation. You know, folks, it's not a conversation most people would like to have in a public domain for some reason. And
ask. You know? The thing is, I go all out to educate, to empower. And some people say, well, if everybody is that smart, they know, then what is your job? Well, I'll have something else to do.
We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Grenada.
This Monday at 8:30 p.m., join Beyond the Headlines as Colin Dow sits down with Emmeline Peer, the newly elected political leader of the New National Party. The discussion will explore her journey to leadership, her perspectives on national priorities like education, healthcare, and pension reform, among other key issues shaping Grenada's future. Don't miss this engaging and informative conversation. Beyond the Headlines, voted Grenada's #1 current affairs program. Looking to take your business to new heights? Advertise with GPN on our social media platforms and get noticed by our 138,000 plus followers. Reach a massive engaged audience ready to connect with your brand. No matter your business size, GPN is here to help you grow. Contact us today at admin@gpn.gd or WhatsApp 407-8458 to get started.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back. We'll be inside the final segment of the show this morning, where I will invite you, listeners and viewers. You may have had the experience, or you may like to ask a question as relates to what we're speaking about this morning, cybersecurity. Feel free to do so in this segment. Jervis, welcome back. Let's take our first caller via WhatsApp. Caller via WhatsApp. Good morning. You're live.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yes, you might find that strange or unbelievable, but on Monday gone, I went to the ATM to get some money on Bruce Street. So when I came out, I met two gentlemen walking, and both of them had bags. And one was saying, "Miss, we have some nice perfume. Would you like to smell it?" So I'm looking at them and saying, "Well, who would have perfume, and why should I want to smell it?" I normally go to the store, look at the perfume. I like men perfume, and I just buy, and then I put it on my hand. So I just said no, and I went home. But when I reached home, I got that same text where they're talking about this perfume. So I don't know whether it's true or not, but I find that was really strange with these two men. That's all I have to say.
Really?
All right. Well, I have, there are a couple guys who I have been approached by over the years selling these oils.
Yeah.
I've had to deal with them in Trinidad as well. The thing is, some of these things, when it aligns with what is put out, then it makes it very believable.
Kind of makes it believable.
It's like the snake that was in St. Patrick. Right, I remember a few years ago, and then this big snake thing was circulating, and people were scared because they thought, "Hey,
well, we
maybe
have an anaconda in Grenada."
Precisely. All right. But I think the advice here is we should not be sniffing things, and people need to respect our space. Right?
Can people look for opportunities? Eh?
Yeah, and then there are guys who are genuinely selling things.
So true. Let's take another caller. Caller, your life. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Dabreo, and morning, TT.
Good morning.
Briefly,
My thing is not so much about the financial part of it, but the distortion or the even fair people. Like I saw a video on I have some relatives who have a WhatsApp group, and one of the cousins posted something on linking the violence in Trinidad with to Grenada and predicting certain stuff. And I felt it necessary not to circulate that. I have to inquire first of the source of this. So I'm saying that to say sometimes you come into contact with things and you have to use your discussion whether to circulate it. And unfortunately, people circulate all kinds of stuff. Is that part of cyber security also, or responsibility? And I think part of the problem our people have, we have been so dumbed down that we are unable to do critical thinking. And we need to really add people, and some of the things that you say in Mr. Dabreo is well in line. We need to ask questions. I mean, there are certain things that if you look at it closely, you'll see it can't be right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Colin. Yeah. Thank you so much.
So let me say thank you very much for being a responsible netizen. And we ascribe netizen to the internet citizens, right? So thank you very much. But that is what needs to happen. When something comes across, whether it's through WhatsApp, Facebook, social media, before you pass it on, assess it, right? The veracity, as I said, the truthfulness of it. But even outside of that, what will it do? Right? What will it do? Is it just sensational? What is going to be accomplished? So don't do that. And this is part of digital literacy. It falls under the umbrella of digital citizenship, being able to assess content and then decide how you treat with it. Right? So I applaud him for that. I wish more people did that.
Caller Alive, good morning.
Hey, what's up, brother?
Good morning, man. How you doing?
Good morning, Mr. Dabreo. How you doing, brother?
Pretty good.
You know, just a little while ago, we gave the government our bank account number or our real name. Where do we live? Not individual. But somebody in the ministry take that data and sell it for a scammer. And could that person, the individual that gave the information, could the bank account be compromised in the future? That's my first question. The reason why I ask you that, because I have a friend in Texas, and he told me that in Jamaica, people go on cruise in the cruise line would take the data or something else.
Caller, we're having a bit of a poor connection from you this morning for some reason. I'm not sure why, but hearing you much better.
All right, good. You heard the first part, right?
Question. We heard the first part.
Yeah. The second part, the reason why I ask this question is because I have a friend in Texas, and he told me that when people go on holiday on cruise line and they play bingo, give out the information to the cruise line, people on the cruise line will take that information, that data, and they will sell it to scammers in Jamaica and throughout the world. And the people line would tap into them and tell them they win stuff and this and that. When they go and pay that money now, they pay it on a U.S. account because basically they pay it in Jamaica, but in reality is a scam. So they pay it in the U.S. and he would go and collect that money on his account and send it back to Jamaica. So data is a serious thing that it can sell and come back and scam you. So I'm asking the question that could that happen in Grenada here also with the information that we give the government? But somebody in the ministry take that information and sell it to scammers. And they can go to my account and pick up money like that.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much.
Right. So I'm going to answer it. I'm not sure he's going to like how I'm going to answer the first. So can they sell the information? The answer is yes. Right? You can sell it.
Yeah.
I could trade in guns. I could sell cocaine. I'll be breaking the law, right?
Yes.
And the law will come for me. So can they do it? Yes, unscrupulous people will do that. But this is where our Data Protection Act comes into play. the information that is collected on us, whether it's by a government entity or by a local private entity in the state right now, have to follow the guidelines of the Data Protection Act. Right? And it says information, the data collected cannot be used for any purpose other than that which it was collected for. Now, of course, when the Data Protection Commission is set up, it's going to allow for people to actually be taken to court and be prosecuted and so forth for it. But we have seen instances where friends, colleagues sell the information of their acquaintances, wanting to get whatever the offering is. So you may see this, you win this is being given away a sweepstake from a company that has no idea that is in their name. But in order for you to actually win the prize, you have to share this with 10 of your associates, or you need to give them 5 or 10 of the numbers in your, and before you know it, you start receiving these messages and you're wondering, where are these coming from? Well, it's because somebody wanting to win a prize actually gave your details over to the bad actors. And then there are instances where organizations are breached. The data is stolen from them. So you think about the financial institutions here. You think about NIS, for example. I consider NIS to be ground zero. Every bit of information you want on somebody that would allow you to really create problems resides with the NIS.
Yes.
If you're dead, NIS would know, because that has to be verified, so they don't pay any money to any dead people, what have you. Yes. All the information there is verified, and we need to ensure that that information is protected. Now, that goes back to some of these offerings where we put our personal information in there. If we have to get paid by a fraudulent entity, we have to give them a way to pay us. But we also give them additional information. We install the app on our device.
Yes.
And that app may have permissions that allow it to look at different areas on our device.
And you are asked for the permission, but sometimes not knowing what the reason you're giving permission for.
And then we don't realize that in addition to having given them the bank account information, they can access maybe the camera, maybe the microphone, maybe storage, what have you. And then we wonder, how did we get hacked? How was our account interfered with? So, there are lots of little things, and it goes back again to, if it seems too good to be true, you're probably looking at a scam. It's probably fraudulent.
We do have another caller. Caller, thanks for your patience. Good morning in your life.
Yes, that goes right back to the point that I'm going to make. Many people see all these things offers on TV and YouTube or whatnot, and they're so foolish. How could you win something that you didn't enter? How could you get money that you didn't pay for? I mean, it's greed, Our people are very greedy and stupid. You see a thing advertised for that you won some money. How could you win money and you didn't put anything in? How could you enter a sweepstake and you didn't pay? And that is where this thing has to stop. When people realize that all these things are scams, maybe some might be true, but believe me, what is good to be true may be good to be wrong too. Over.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much.
Listen, some of the points he made there, GT, because I am not on vacation and I'm on air, I would not say it how he said it. But yes, sometimes we really need to think. The thing, though, is I do not want us to think for a moment that being scammed means you are not you're a stupid person.
Yeah. I don't agree with the political terminology.
Yeah, because listen, in February we're going to have a problem again.
Yeah.
The romance scams tend to surface around the latter part of January into February because people are looking for love. The different offerings and so
it's like they go with your moods at times.
Yes, and if you're in that space mentally, you'll fall for it.
Yeah.
I mean, there are times you feel for something and you don't realize that the ad may have been played, or you just drove past and you you're pulling and you're...
And there are sites that use that particular algorithm to get your emotion. They look at what you look at.
Yes, but I agree with him that, at this stage in the game, we should not be so gullible because we have been hit so many times in the recent past. I think what we need to fix, GT, is the short memory we have as Grenadians. Yeah. We need to maybe now I need to put something in the water for us to remember.
We keep getting taken up in the same thing over and over again. Let's go to another caller. Caller, your life. Good morning.
Good morning, Doc. And there's a great Doc. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning.
You will have to go to the politician for that. They know how to stretch the memory. They're good there. I'll tell you so. I listened to this conversation there, and yes, I know I encountered this scam for quite a number of years. But my defense is made with all kind of barbed wires and BRCs and so they can't penetrate my defense. I'm not a greedy guy. So they don't get through. I ignore all those things completely. I identify them very quickly. But it leads me to another situation, sir. It has to do with banking. Realize that the bank is being scammed and everybody is being scammed, so monies are not safe anywhere. It brings me back to the laws. When in banking, now you have a problem in depositing money, you have a problem in withdrawing money, so that's why the bank doesn't need your money. However, I believe, I'm not sure, so I want somebody to correct me here, is there a law which prevents people or restrict people from holding a certain amount of money in the premises or in the person? And is that legal? Bearing in mind that the bankers are smart people who invest in money and they have this sanction by the government through the Articles of Incorporation to bank money and to make money out of money. Just the same way you can hold your money and invest your money. Is it illegal for someone to work for the money and hold the money on the person wherever they choose without the law interfering with your money or with you? Is there a law that restricts that? I would want to know, because I think if you can earn your money at any quantity, any volume, you so have the right as the owner of your money to store it wherever you want without interference.
Thank you,
I would like to know, sir.
Thank you so much.
GT, a good friend of mine over the Christmas vacation, we were discussing something. As I said, he think he's going to take out his money and put it in a pan under his bed. I don't know if there is an exact law, but I do know there are money laundering, guidelines and so in place. So if you have $100,000 under your bed, you'll have to answer to that. But there are also risks involved. I don't think there is anyone whose house got burnt in recent times, or burnt in general, and they were like, you know what, I want my house to burn down today. So I'm sitting here and I want my house to burn down today, right? It may be an electrical fault, something was left on, what have you, and the $50,000 under the bed goes up in smoke. Right? I mean, because that is where you had it. So there are certain risks, I think, when it comes to these things. What I will say on the issue of the law is this. We need to put measures in place that make it mandatory for financial institutions to disclose breaches and to take more responsibility when the compromise is on their end.
I agree with you on that, because sometimes they don't take the responsibility,
and they do not have to, by law, report it to you. So they will report what they call suspicious activities to the FIU. But if they got hacked and $500 was taken out of your account, there is nothing that says right now that they must report this to you as the account holder or to an authority to say, hey, this is what
there are times, sometimes that money is just put back into your account and you never know.
Sometimes that is done, or sometimes they wait for 3 months to pass without you raising a dispute, and then you can't say nothing again, right? We need to fix that.
Caller, your life. Good morning.
Yes, good morning to you both, and a happy new year to you.
Same to you.
Right. I am wondering how safe how safe is this practice? Now, you're in the line, in the teller, in a bank, and in a local bank, somebody turns up behind you with a bunch of, somebody turns up in the line with a bunch of foreign money to have an exchange. But the teller would suggest to them, well, you must have an account here, so please ask the next person in line if you can use their account. Yeah? And how safe is that practice? I'm just wondering, because I know we are friendly people and we like to help out each other, but I'm just wondering how safe is that practice? Because I would think, well, then that person should open an account there and then or whatever, but they come with, a substantial amount of cash, foreign cash, and they want to have it exchange into local money. And the teller would suggest, well, ask the person in the line if you can use their account to do the transaction. So I'm just wondering if that is a safe practice.
Thank you, caller.
So here's the thing, GT. If the money that you were asked to process for that person was dirty money, you just laundered money for them. You just made it clean by running it through your account, and your money is clean. So if this is something that is happening right now, I think we really need to revisit how we operate within the financial institution. But there is a risk associated.
But should I tell her actually? Should I tell her?
That's what I mean. That to me is madness.
It's kind of a bit off thinking a teller will tell someone.
That is a bit of madness. Somebody has $3,000 and you're telling me to run that. What is the source of funds?
Yeah.
Because it's going to show that I put in $3,000 and I withdrew $3,000.
Yes.
Right? Because I had $6,000 in there. But that was clean money. If that money is dirty money, come on, man! You just.
It's a little bit odd that I would want to follow through on that if I've been asked to do that, being in the line.
I'm not going to.
I don't think I would be agreeing to do that.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And as I said, money muling, money laundering, these are things. Maybe the FIU need to have them on to talk about this so people understand the difference.
So true. We do have another caller. Caller, your life. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yes, I was listening to the question about the fire. And your guest said he don't think that people will sit down and say purposely, well, I want to burn down my house today. I think that is very naive. We are not accusing people, and we don't want to have a suspicious mind. But in reality, we have to be prudent, and we have to be exploratory, and you have to have an objective mind. There is such a thing as arson. And there are reasons and motives for arson. And it's why fires are always seen as a crime scene, potentially. You have to stop and see was there arson for insurance purposes, for the people who people who are financially responsible. There is motive for arson because in arson, you get insurance. In arson, you get losses replaced. And in Grenada now, when your house burned down, you get a lot of help. So it is not out of the box to think that these things happen if you have a house and you know if it burned down, you will get a better one with aid. These are the things we have to look at. I think it is very remiss of him to dismiss the fact that, well, this person didn't do it. We have to look at it. It is very possible. Thank you.
Thank you, caller.
No, I agree. I agree with what she's saying, but what I said was in light of you knowing you have $50,000 in a pan under the bed
and want your house to burn down.
Yeah. So if the money is in the house, that's where I'm keeping it, because it was in line with not putting the money in a financial institution, storing it in the house. Then I don't want the house burned down, because am I going to tell the insurance company before that, hey, I have a pan with $50,000 under there? Because whatever I get from the insurance would be based on the value as disclosed, and other little adjustments and so forth. So yes, arson happens, but we were talking in light of the $50,000 in a pan under the bed.
Jarvis, because we have to take a wrap for today's program. It's a pleasure having you here, of course, and sharing information. Yes. We're probably going to make this on a regular.
Yeah.
Maybe not every Friday, but of course, you're going to pop back in from time to time and share this information with our viewing and listening audience. Of course, the information is definitely fruitful. And certainly we get a change of mindset of individuals in terms of the things that they do, especially when being online. Your security days.
Culture of security force.
Exactly. Anything in closing before we
just two things. One, Creators Alliance. that is a scam. You're going to lose your money. And secondly, take me up on the offer.
Yeah.
Record your video and keep it. I have your dollar. And have your dollar handy.
Yeah, you have $150.
I'm not going to have to pay the $150. Listen, I don't bet if I know I will not win. That is why I don't gamble and so, because unless I know I will win, I am betting. Not after I work so hard for my money, man. So yeah, have your $1 ready. Record the video and hang on to it. And you can always just think, because I'm going to upload the video once you send it when you lose the bet, so people know Dabreo wasn't wrong on that. The National CSUT, we knew what we were about.
Before we leave, we have someone who's showing a message about the WhatsApp, and they're saying, just Tuesday my husband received a call from a foreigner song in African, and he told him he had won $800,000, and I made a sign to him and engaged him, and cause we thought it was a scam. He said that he was sending it from him. There's a form to be filled out, and of course, and in order for him to receive the money, he said that his name was randomly selected from Samsung, and my husband doesn't own a Samsung phone. He was told
right here, right?
And so he told him to send it, and indeed he sent it to send the form, and of course he did not open it though. He didn't open the form.
Yes. So the next time we meet, we can talk about some of these documents and the dangers with it. But understand, right now these criminals, they're ensuring that they do not walk away empty-handed.
Yeah.
So when he put in the information, they're going to ask him eventually to send money for the processing. He would say no, because he realized you're not supposed to give money to get money that you won, but they already have his personal information, so they're not walking away empty-handed.
Travis, thanks once again.
All right, man.
Hey, thanks to all our listeners and viewers this morning. Join us again. It's our final edition of To The Point for this week. Join me again on Monday for another. Have a good one and a great weekend to come. That's what we say goodbye.